Good morning, class. How we doing today? Welcome back to the joy of Inkwells, sponsored by the Joy of Resin. Um, like I said yesterday, we're making a new inkwell. Um, the black layer has cured. It's time to add color and go from there. So, we have 6 primary colors for the color wheel. We are going to attempt to pour them in such a way that they spread, interact, and blend, and see how it looks. I did something similar in one of the original molds for the wheel, one of the handmade molds that I made with mica powder and the raindrop effect, and it looked really cool. But like I said, it was one of the handmade molds, and it was also very, very rough. So now we're going to try it using the technique that I used for the dollar bill wheel a couple of months ago. So without further ado, first we spritz. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Roy. That ain't right. Nope. I was gonna try to make a Roy G. Biv joke, but it just flattened on me, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so about to here, here, and here. Okay, we're gonna start with the blue, the primary colors, the Superman colors. Okay, and then we move to the secondary colors. I did not position that correctly. And I'm using way too much mica powder. However, this looks fabulously gay, and I'm here for it because it is, after all, Pride Month. Okay, so now that we've got that gay, now we have clear. We're going to pour that right in the middle. I had intended to save some of this for another project that I've got going on today, but that didn't happen. Oops. But, I mean, that looks pretty fucking cool. Happy Pride Month. Okay. Okie dokie. So now we just do that. Ta-da! That is just gorgeous. Look at the way, look at all the different color interactions that we've got going on. That's beautiful. I am patting myself on the back for this one. Didn't come out exactly the way I had intended, but honestly, really stunning piece of work. Oh, I love playing around with chemicals. Join me next time while we make a... Sorry, bug in my throat. All right, that's that for that. So now we got to find a purpose for all this excess rainbow. What other gay shenanigans can we get up to tonight? Okay, very carefully move this to the curing cabinet. Ah. Did not spill. Congratulate me, guys. Okay, so this is what I had intended to use the clear on. Okay, I need to turn that around. So just using some glow-in-the-dark paint markers. Let me adjust my camera now that we're doing this slightly smaller piece. There we go. All right. Glow-in-the-dark paint markers. Just doing weird geometry, not sacred geometry, which is inherently beautiful, but slightly unsettling geometry. And I will just put these little skull pieces in the center and slowly layer them up, adding more weird geometry. And hopefully create really pretty and mildly disturbing art pieces for the horror convention that I will be vending at in September. So, in the meantime, let's use these other two panels and do something gay. Okay. If you recognize that ditty, we can be friends. If you don't, educate yourself. You're missing out. Okay. Now that we are being nice and gay, Got myself some brand new mixing cups that are nice and clean. It's such a lovely feeling. I have no idea what I'm doing. So usually when I'm using mica powder, I go pretty light on the mica compared to the amount of resin I'm using. But for these deep pour pieces, I've been going really heavy. And the difference in the final product is really stunning. So guys, when you're playing around with your color theory, when you're playing around with different tints and colors and projects and experimenting and having fun, don't be afraid to